be sharing 5 tips to use over summer that aren't super overwhelming, but these 5 things are going to make a huge difference preparing and getting ready for your new homeschool year. So whether or not this is just a normal homeschool summer break that you're stepping into, or if this is the first summer you're preparing and getting ready for your first year of homeschooling, these 5 things I think I have done year after year. I've adjusted, and they really do help make the start of our homeschool year more enjoyable and less stressful. I do want to say thank you to today's video sponsor, Creative Fabrica. I have shared so much of the resources I use from Creative Fabrica. If you're not sure what Creative Fabrica is, they are a full online database of all things for creating crafts, digital items, and so a lot of the stuff I'm sharing today, like planning worksheets, cute things for the beginning of the school year, I got from Creative Fabrica. So I'll be sharing more about those items as we go through the list. I have 5 things that you can do. Now we're taking about a 6 to 7 week break over summer, and so my plan is to tackle one of these things per week. That still gives me like 2 full weeks off, but trying to not overwhelm myself, I can take 1 day, 1 hour per week and really get ourselves prepared for a good school year. If you're new here, my name is Ashley. I homeschool 3 kids. I will have a upcoming 5th grader, 3rd grader, and pre-kindergartner. I also work full-time from home, and so you will see a lot of kind of organization tips because I have to keep things at least in somewhat of a flow and routine, or it's just chaos around here. Number 1 is to start cleaning and organizing last year's curriculum and your curriculum. So I've said this before on my past couple videos, I am at that overwhelmed stage where I have all of last year's curriculum and all of the upcoming year's curriculum. So I have double the amount of curriculum, and I have 3 kids, so it's a lot of stuff going on. So that's the first thing I'm going to tackle, is getting that cleaned and organized. I'm going to be actually making more in-depth videos on each of these steps. So I have a video coming out soon showing you the mess I have, how I organize, how I clean out, but overall what I do is I separate curriculum, whether there was stuff I bought and we never used, there was stuff that maybe we used a lesson or 2 in. I'm going to get that ready and I'm going to sell that. I sell a lot of our curriculum or like teacher guides where you don't write in them and you don't need them again unless you're repeating curriculum with a kid. And so I sell those through Instagram or on Facebook Marketplace. Our co-op has like a buy sell thing that I can do. So I start organizing it that way, and I start listing things for sale. You make money back, which is always a great thing, and it frees it up. So I start separating it by that. I also have piles of completed coursework that they did. Our state has absolutely no rules as far as record keeping. All the record keeping I do is really more for me personally, or if we ever choose to move to a state that requires a little bit more. So I will also be showing what I save from the year as far as like curriculum and records and completed pages. So I start going through all the papers, those special things. My kids really enjoy doing that, going through what they've done over the past year, and so that is part of that cleanup process. And then I get my homeschool room either refigured or organized, and so that may be I want to change around some desks. Kids grow over the years. We have my preschooler who's now moving to that pre-K level. He may need more of like an area, and so really reconsidering how our homeschool is set up, reorganizing some of the bins we have, some of the books we have. So that is my first item I'm going to. All right, my second thing is getting planned for our homeschool year. All right, so now let's move on to planning. Now, this type of planning, I'm talking about kind of planning and laying out your homeschool year. Now, I've already done this kind of pre-planning when I was buying my curriculum. I made a video on like how I decide my curriculum for the year, and part of that is kind of planning out our homeschool year. Like, how many weeks are we homeschooling? How many days are we homeschooling? When are we starting? When are we ending? And so I kind of did a rough estimate kind of based on like summer camp or holidays or vacations we're taking. So I had like a rough estimate. Well, now I'm ready to put it to paper, or I'm actually using an online planner this year. Also, I'll be showing, but get yourself an overall draft. Like, do you know when you're going to start your school year? Do you know when you're going to end? Do you care? Are you a year-round homeschooler? And so that doesn't really matter. Do you need to keep those attendance records? So you need to really figure out what kind of planner you're going to be using. I've seen hundreds of different planner options. I've used hundreds of different planner options, and they are all great. If you get the all access pass with Creative Fabrica, which right now I have a free 1-month trial down below in the link, so you get 1 month free. You can download up to 10 things. So if you're looking for a planner and you really don't know what type of planner you want, Creative Fabrica has tons of homeschool specific planners for teachers, for your students, tons of different options. You can download up to 10 of those for free with that trial link down below. If you like Creative Fabrica, because I have a ton more stuff I'm going to show you today from them, their all access pass gives you access to literally everything on their site, unlimited downloads. And so I know that I'm always looking for little things here and there to make our homeschool year just a little bit more special. So use my free trial link down below. Go look at all these amazing planners. And that is my second step, is starting the planning process of your actual year. Now that's going to look different. I plan out the year, right? Like, I know when we want to start, and I know around when we want to end. I know somewhat of breaks that we're going to take, and I know I like to divide our school year into quarters. So just kind of knowing those dates, there's different planners you can use. Are you the type of homeschool parent that wants a planner for yourself where you write down what each subject is, what all your kids are going to do? Do you want to make planners for your kids? I did that 1 year during our homeschool, and it really worked for us in that season we were in. My kids had their own planners. They were very independent, and that's when they were doing a lot of independent subjects. Now that we do a lot of the same subjects, it makes sense for me to just have one planner. Figure out what you want to plan. Don't just plan because you think you have to. If you're not a planner and you're fine not knowing your official start date or end date or breaks or quarters, then don't do that. But on that Creative Fabrica, there's like hundreds of different planning sheets, even if it's just planning what unit studies you're going to do. You know, I know in the month of September, you know, maybe themes that you're wanting to do, apples and back to school. And so you can even just get like a monthly little planner of different types of units that you're going to be working on. You can start planning out what library books you're going to buy. So in that same theme, maybe in December, you know, you want to get a bunch of holiday related books. So kind of mapping it out of what ideas do you have for this year, what intentions, and getting those kind of on a piece of paper or typed up, whatever fits you best as far as planning. My third step is getting your student resources ready. So I do not do this the first week of school. I like this to be done. I am part of my job throughout my career is training on the business processes and procedures and systems. And I'm telling you, even with adults that have been in workforces, adults that have college degrees, the hardest part of any classroom setting is getting the materials out or making copies or getting their resources organized. That can all be done ahead of time. Same thing with like system logins. If you are using computer systems and there's usernames, emails, passwords, do not do that your first day or first week of your homeschool. It is always a mess. Always. It just doesn't work. So that is stuff that I prepare beforehand. So another thing that I like to have is I make my kids kind of like their own binders / notebooks, just depending. And in there they have like these resources that they all year long. So something I found on Creative Fabrica is a password tracker. Now they have tons of different options of styles of this. I thought that this one was cute. You would write down the website, username, password, some little little notes. And again, they have different versions of this with like different categories. Now, you probably shouldn't write down your passwords and have them accessible, but in the case of my kids and they're logging on to their math curriculum, I'm not super concerned. They use like school related passwords. So this is something that I can laminate and keep at their computer station or put in their like a little section of their binder. So they have this all. I'm not going to remember their usernames and passwords. I have 3 kids. I have all my own stuff to remember. So this really does make it easy, as well as you can kind of write down like, okay, this website is what you use for your math lessons, especially if you're introducing new things and multiple things. So we really like having a password tracker as part of their kind of resource pack, if you want to call it that. We also put in things like reading logs or tracking. I was not really good at this past year, and I want to be better at it because they read so many books throughout the school year and it's really hard to keep track of it. So again, on Creative Fabrica, and the reason I like Creative Fabrica is because I just went and searched all this stuff, and because I have that all access membership, which I think I pay $4.99 a month because I paid for the whole year, this is so just relieving knowing I don't have to pay anything else. You can buy the same stuff on Etsy, on Teacher Pay Teacher, but why when you could get all of it for free and try different ones included in your all access pass? So this is a couple different reading logs. This one is super simple. It's the title of the book, the author, when you started and when you finished it. So this one is super simple. This one is a cute idea. It's like the best book of the year. And so it's almost like, I don't know what this is called, but I've seen it in sports. So this is a book you read each month, and then you're going to pick a winner. So from January and February, which book won? And then you kind of just go down from there, and then you're going to pick the best book. So this is a really unique approach, especially maybe for kids who have a hard time like rating every individual book. It kind of breaks it down a little bit easier for them comparing one book to another. I always see these cute bookshelf coloring pages. So what you're supposed to do is, these are like, you know, the different books. As you read a book, you would write in like the spine and color it, and then at the end of the year you would see all the books that you've read. There was a second page, so it'd be like 2 full coloring pages, and the other one had tons of books. So I thought, again, this is another cute, like unique way to track what books your kids have read, or you have even read, if you want to kind of make something like this as well. You also should be getting ready, like, are you having to print anything out? If you're using, maybe you downloaded a PDF of a curriculum and you need to print and make copies. Now, I don't tend to print out like entire years of curriculum. I normally do it by quarters. So an example, the curriculum word roots. We have the physical book, which I make copies out of for both my kids. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably make, you know, the 20 pages of lessons of copies to get us through those first few weeks of school, and just have those ready to go. If you have they sell a PDF version, so I would just do the same thing but print those things. Or if you don't have a printer and you need to have things for you, all print companies get very busy over summer because there's homeschoolers, but then there's also teachers. So if you're trying to go to like an office store, teachers are doing the same thing. Schools are doing the same thing. So you really need to give yourself time and get things printed and copies made. Don't do it for the whole year, because I will be the first to say you're probably going to change something. You're going to figure out something doesn't work, but at least for your first quarter or your first 6 weeks or even your first month, get yourself ready to go so you guys can just jump back into that flow. You're not stopping to make copies, or you forgot to get something ordered and so now you're waiting. Do it all ahead of time, get it ready, and then you can really judge like, how long is this going to take me to do, you know, every month or every 6 weeks, planning on doing it. My next planning tip, number 4, is, are you doing anything special for your first day of school? One thing that I really truly did not want my kids to miss out when we made the decision to leave from public school to homeschool was those really special fun days, like the first day of school, the last day of school, the 100th day of school. My kids really looked forward to those in public school, whether they get to dress up or it's just a special out of ordinary day. They always have those super fun themes. Like, that was my favorite part. When I actually started college, I went to be a teacher, and that was all I cared about. I'm like, I just want to decorate my classroom in these different themes and do all these theme related units, and that hasn't changed. So last year last school year, for our first day of school, I did the Shark Week theme because it happened to pair up with the week we were starting school was actual Shark Week. Now, I had never watched Shark in my life, but because it was like coming, that I think either like Target or Walmart had like shark party decoration. And so, I mean, it was nothing crazy, like nothing crazy. I put like a little plastic tablecloth that had sharks on it on our homeschool table, a couple little decorations. I did make like a little shark trail mix, which was like goldfish crackers and like shark gummies. I did that. And then for our lunch that day, I made little sub sandwiches that like I used pickles to make them look like fins. If I can find the pictures, I'll post them up here. But you know, it did take a little bit of prep work, I'm not gonna lie, right? Because there was a couple things I had to buy. I had to plan the lunch, and I wanted it to be a surprise and kind of special for my kids. So that is just something that if you like that idea and you do want to do something like that for your first day at school, then start thinking about what theme do you want now. Look for those decorations and grab them. Another thing for the first day of school is like little signs. So I like taking, you know, the first day of school pictures. So again, you can find stuff like this on Creative Fabrica that you can just like download the little pre-made image and like print on a paper. So what I did is I printed it on like a white piece of paper, and then I glued it on like a larger colorful cardstock, and my kids held those up so I could take pictures. Super simple, but having those ready to go on that first day just makes a difference. So those little first day of school signs. And then something else my kids really like, and I really like this too, are first day of school interviews and last day of school interviews. So I found them on Creative Fabrica for free, but you can buy them on like Etsy and stuff, but you're gonna pay the same amount you would for like your full membership for Creative Fabrica. So this one is really cute because it's my first day of school and last day of school, and it's like asking the same question. So this is something I keep in their records for that year. It's really cool to see their handwriting change, their answers change. And so I have my kids draw themselves, and so just seeing like their drawings change. So these are really fun too. It's a really fun warm-up activity on the first day of school, and my kids really love it. So some sort of like interview for the first day of school that you can keep for records as well. Anything I showed from that I got directly from Creative Fabrica, I will link down below, but don't forget to use the top link to get your free trial. So sign up for your free trial and then come back and use my links if you want to get the stuff I actually printed and I downloaded that I'm showing today. All right, and my last tip for preparing for back to school over summer is plan a trial run. Now, this is kind of hard because it's like, is this really your first day of school? So like all those fun first day of school celebrations, that's up to you. If you want your trial run to just be your true first day of school, just a lighter week, then plan that. Or if you're really just kind of spending a day or two going through their binders, going through all their new curriculum, do some sort of trial run or ease into your first week of school, because your kids are going to be, I don't want to say overwhelmed in a bad way, because it's not bad. It's more of an excited way. They have all these new curriculum. And as much as I know, like my kids roll their eyes when I'm like, look, I bought new curriculum. Once it's sitting in front of them, they're going to want to flip through it. If you printed them out their own binders and maybe they want to decorate them, or all these fun little tracking worksheets, you know, give them time to go through all that stuff. Their new notebooks, their new school supplies. Regardless if they're homeschooled or public school, that stuff is fun. Most kids like that. So give yourself kind of a trial run or plan that trial to where you know you're probably not going to be getting a lot of curriculum done, or you're getting those very few first lessons done that are really like, maybe not start all your curriculum at once. Maybe ease into it with a fun unit study to just get back in that school habit, or maybe just start with your basic math in English, right? Just kind of get them into that school flow and then build upon that. So don't go from 0 to 100. You're going to set yourself up to fail. Ease yourself into it. Introduce these things. This shouldn't be the first time your kid's seeing 10 new curriculum items. Those are my 5 tips for over summer how to prep for your upcoming homeschool year. Like I said, I am doing these 5 things. I will make videos on most all of them. I'll touch on them at least in something. So if you're interested to see more in depth how I handle them, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you like these kind of like step-by-step helpful, how would I do something, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I know to create more videos like this. Again, don't miss out on that free 1-month trial to create a Fabrica, especially right now. Use that free month. Go look at these resources I shared, plus tons or thousands of other resources. There's so much on Creative Fabrica. I'll post on a couple videos down below of other things that I use Creative Fabric for. It's like creating homeschool units, tons of stuff. So use that link. Thanks for watching this video and we'll chat soon. Bye guys.